What's up, and welcome to the Los Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Eslam, aka Raw Goddess, accompanied by Dan Papasan Killer and Dan Emperor Disco. How's it going, fellas?
Good. Happy to be here.
Hello, Eslam. How are you today?
I'm doing great, bro. I am doing great. Trying to hold on. It's been rough
Whenever you
out there.
can.
Been rough out there. But we're back with another episode. Henry, sorry, I got distracted by Henry's message. We before I
Oh.
started the episode, we were talking about Gundam, and yeah, Henry didn't see the one on Netflix yet. I don't know. I don't
The
I don't like
the
the
one on
perspective of I don't like CGI in anime. It's not my
the
thing.
one on Netflix. I did see it. It was relatively short, like 6 episodes, limited series type of thing. I actually did like it. They kind of like painted the Gundams as like this like war horror, like oh snap, the white Gundams here. And it's like
Yeah.
kind of panic and run and like the villains just kind of have to survive and they're trying to fight against this like mythic upgraded white Gundam that just keeps messing everybody
So
up.
it's in the perspective of the Empire, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That is one thing I want to mention. Watching the original Mobile Suit Gundam, it gives me a lot of old school Star Wars vibes. Lot of old school Star Wars vibes, like the original trilogy.
Nice.
There you go. He's quoting the Bible. But but no, so just fun fact for anybody who is watching this on the YouTubes, if you did want to interact with us, you could always go to twitch.tv/thoswiseguys, just like Henry does, and talk to us there even before the show.
Catch us before the show, get some pre-show background BTS.
Sometimes a little post-show. Post-show too.
Pre-show? Post-show?
Post-show.
Pre and post.
Pre and post.
Oh,
We do
wow,
it
we're
all,
crazy.
baby.
We wild over here.
And
we
You're acting like you haven't been invited to the post show, like you didn't know about it, like you're there.
We just some silly bitches over here.
Okay.
We are some silly bitches. So today's topic is going to be, we're bringing it back, fan favorite, Mount Rushmore. So we're doing the Mount Rushmore, and we're doing it with sitcoms.
You're doing it right. You know?
So we're
Damn
choosing
right.
our top 4 sitcoms, all
Yes, sir.
based on our own selves, not really connected to each other. This is our own.
I feel like for sitcoms, we're all gonna be like really different.
I'm purposely going out of my way to not say anything you guys.
And I feel like Disco and I will also be very different.
No.
Like I think I don't know. I'm gonna call it now, but I think none of us will have repeating sitcoms.
I feel like we're gonna acknowledge
there's
the ones
one
we chose
right off the bat. I
because they're
feel like you
good.
both are gonna say, but yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but
Okay.
it's I feel like we all have very different tastes in sitcoms, and I know some of the ones that I like. I know you don't like, but at least
Hey, what's up, Socks guy?
him.
Good to have you.
You, Dan.
Okay. You're like, I know you don't like him. We're all here digitally.
And I was like, you, Dan. Like, I'm not talking to both of you named
yeah,
Dan.
no, but that I know.
Yeah, I know.
Other people listening, they don't know. We understand what that means.
we distinguish the dance.
Yeah, we know how to.
Well, we Los
Back
Wise
in the
guys,
day when
bro,
we were
we've been-
both referred to as Danny all the time, we still know. I don't know how Disco and I knew,
Sixth
but we
sense.
understood.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's up, Jack?
What's up? Why was I like waiting for him?
I know.
to
I'm like, you guys waiting for Jack to respond. Let's all sit here
Like,
silently.
I was
Jack
just
was
like,
like,
waiting for him. Like I was actually
hostage though.
I was waiting for him to actually say something like in the mic.
There you go. Thank you for responding. That's not we've been here all day.
We're waiting for you.
We ain't saying a damn
I need to hear
thing.
his voice because that's what I was expecting. I was
I
like,
hope
you
can
were like,
send a
hey
voice
Jack,
note
and
in
I was
here.
like,
send a voice memo.
yeah.
Oh,
We got to
man.
get Jack on the show one day. He's always in the
Alright.
chats.
Man.
I need to put a
Man,
face to the voice.
Man's representing.
A face to the chat.
Face to the
man.
voice.
Gotta put a face on that voice. That's still accurate.
No, it is accurate, but we've never heard his voice either. So it's
That's a good
just
point.
the text.
Yeah.
Face to the chat, the text chat.
This is gonna be an episode, guys. This is gonna be
It
an
is,
episode.
it
We
is,
haven't
it
even
is.
gotten through this, like the intro.
The first round yet.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, we did the intro. We're doing sitcoms. I feel like everybody watches sitcoms. Like even if you don't know it's a sitcom, you watch a sitcom, and I think you're gonna be able to really relate more to this Mount Rushmore than maybe any of the other ones we've done.
Yeah, everybody watches sitcoms. I just realized half the shows I watch are sitcoms. I just thought they were good shows.
um, yeah, this one is yo, play along, Jack, and I'll post your here.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
we'll just have it up.
Oh, that's perfect.
Let's do that.
I'll have your chat here, and
And
then you and Henry.
Henry could play along too. You're
Yeah,
not
Henry,
excluded.
let us know which sitcoms you like, but just go by each round. I'll call you out, and if you're like,
Yeah.
just say your name, like, because last time Rudy and I forgot who else was on. They
It
were
was,
just
it
like,
was Rudy and Jack.
yeah, they were just throwing in
It-
like
A,
fucking.
a
yeah,
million
animated definitely counts.
submissions.
Yes, animated does count. But all right, so let's just start the first round of Mount Rushmore. Also, after we name the sitcom, we have to come up with a statue for it. So
In the vein of the Mount Rushmore, like what are we putting in to
yeah, so
symbolize
instead of the
with our
faces,
decision?
what are
Oh,
you
it can't be the
putting up
face.
on there? It can be the face, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying. And
Yeah.
instead of
We
like,
usually don't do faces.
no, we do everything but a face.
We try to think of the most ridiculous. Usually, a button is pressed and the Mount
Yeah.
Rushmore comes to life and does things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right, so who wants to go first?
I'll go
Any
first.
volunteers? All right.
I'll go first. Quick and simple. Thank you, Henry. Thank you for being you. You know,
What's a sitcom? Yeah.
situational comedy. For example, my first pick in the Mount Rushmore sitcom episode of 2024 in the year of our Lord, I choose as the first pick, arguably the greatest sitcom of all time. No surprise, I'm going to say this, and I'm going all the way back to the 1950s. The sitcom that changed history, I Love Lucy.
I love
If we're
Lucy.
going to talk
wow.
sitcoms, you have to put
That's facts.
the sitcom on there.
Yeah.
So
Classic.
everybody always likes to talk about, I Love Lucy. She's she was like the first female of comedy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of diversity, bringing in Desi Arnaz, who at that time having a Cuban American, that's unheard of. What a lot of people aren't aware of is, the 3 camera system that is utilized in sitcoms.
Yeah.
They invented that show. Desi Arnaz invented that.
Nice.
That is something that didn't exist before I Love Lucy. The live studio audience, like all this stuff, this was all an I Love Lucy thing. They were so successful, they created Desilu Productions, and many famous shows like The Twilight Zone, Star Trek, all that stuff were all under Desilu Productions. Desilu standing for Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball. They are the greatest. And
Sox Guy says they invented the rerun too, which is
exactly.
pretty awesome.
They invented syndicated television.
That's legendary.
And of course, he puts in the famous quote, Vitamita Vegemin. So
I was wondering what that was. I was like,
yeah.
what the heck? I can't read.
And it's tasty too. But yeah, anybody who watches I Love Lucy, they get it. But I'm definitely putting that there. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I want to do the for the Mount Rushmore physically. We're gonna have
My bad.
You're good, Disco.
Step away for a second. Eslam, go next.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I'll go next.
So for the thing, I'm gonna go ahead and put the heart, the famous I Love Lucy heart, where it just says I Love Lucy, but I want the little animated cartoon stick figure people of Ricky and Lucy in there as well.
Yeah.
What is Henry saying here? Isn't also filmed, and that's why it holds well to this day. What? Oh, instead of like cassette. I think it does have something to do with that, where it was filmed on like I forgot what the actual filming is or whatever it is, where basically it's able to be reserved and reviewed and seen forever. But yeah, I Love Lucy.
For shit. Well, I just want to let everybody know that neither Disco and I will go into that much detail
Okay.
when we say what our sitcoms
I take
were.
sitcoms very seriously.
I know you do, and
Yeah.
I respect you for it, but I'm just letting the people know.
I like this one.
I don't expect this from me and Disco, because we're gonna be like, we like the sitcom.
This
was
sitcom's funny.
I liked it. That's it. We ain't giving you a history lesson.
I got
we
you.
ain't telling you what these sitcoms invented. It's not gonna happen. Disco,
I got you.
It's just not.
I'm gonna keep doing that.
Yeah, I thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna learn something today.
Yep. There we go.
Jack, do you want to tell us what your
Yes, please.
sitcom is? And Henry, you want to also chime in and tell us what your first sitcom is?
I think you have an idea of what a sitcom is now, right, Henry?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Well,
hang
I
on.
mean,
No,
the way
Eslam, we
you
gotta wait
explained
for
it,
him to respond. We have to hear him.
the way you explained it, bro, that was like a whole fucking master class on sitcoms.
It was a small paragraph.
Yeah. Henry
Oh
goes
man,
in with different strokes for
damn,
different
that's
folks.
all right, Henry. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
good
All
shit.
right, one
And
hell of a show.
then
One
Sox
hell of a
guy
show.
still thinking, but I'm gonna go. Oh, never
No, hang
mind.
on, hang on. Going back to TGIF, of course. Perfect Strangers. Okay, not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest TGIF Friday. That was I forget what channel, but that was a thing back in the
Mm.
day. I know like they had that. They had what Urkel? What was that? Which one was that one? I
Was
think
it
that
in
was on there.
ABC?
Family Matters. Thank you, Eslam. Appreciate it.
Oh.
But yeah, no, there ABC. Thanks.
See, I was right.
Did you say that?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't hear
it
you.
was on ABC.
Yeah, I was
I didn't
already
hear
off
that.
to
I
the
didn't
next
hear
thing I
that.
was trying to remember.
Yeah, you
I
were
never heard
already
him
like,
say
shut the
ABC.
fuck up. Let me-
He canceled you out.
yeah.
I was
So
trying to remember
much-
Family Matters at that moment.
Okay.
Yeah, but different strokes. And Perfect Strangers. Two good picks there.
Nice, good shit. One of my all-time favorite sitcoms is Boy Meets World. I
Good
I
call.
I
Ooh.
love that fucking show so
Good
much.
call.
I've watched it many times, and it's forever gonna be one of my favorite sitcoms. Boy Meets World. Let's
Tell
go.
us about the history of Boy Meets World.
See what happened in the 1962.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
someone
the
was
original
born
Boy
who
Meets
wrote
World.
the sitcom.
It's funny. There's a very good chance one of my picks is going to actually involve the original Boy Meets World, but okay.
Okay,
Man, I had a huge crush on Topanga too.
I mean, who didn't? You know.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
facts. Yeah, go ahead.
Is that?
Do you want
Is
to put
that
something on your Mount
Oh
Rushmore?
shit, I forgot that part.
People are just going. I love Boy Meets World, but where is it? I
I'm
don't
gonna
see it anywhere.
I'm gonna put Defense.
Okay,
Oh,
I respect it. I
I'm
respect
put
it.
that makes
Defense.
sense. That's a lot. That's a good one.
You made up for it.
Huh?
You made up for it
Okay,
by
good, good.
completely
I'm
forgetting to put
happy.
something.
I'm happy. I redeemed myself. Disco. What's your first pick?
My first pick, yeah, it's not gonna be like a super heavy like dance and informative, but
I
they're
like
all
sitcoms. I'm sorry.
all my choices are pretty modern, and all the choices um are important to me because my wife makes me watch them for the better part of like the past 7 years. I've been watching
I
these
love
day in, day out. There hasn't been one day where she does not have one of these sitcoms playing in the background. Like
Why
it's
sounds
just
she's like off screen pointing a gun at your face?
her safety blanket.
I love how he said I
This
love
is
them
why it's
because
important
my
to
wife
me.
makes me.
My first one is gonna be The Office, and
Okay.
everybody
you,
loves
thank
The
you.
Office. I love The
Thank you.
Office.
Yeah.
It was founded in 2005. It has
That's a win.
9 seasons. Michael Scott, you know,
Just said a name. You named a character.
that's all you need to know. He's
Yeah.
one of the biggest big hitters ever.
One of the greatest
Um,
sitcoms ever. I will agree.
Honestly, this sitcom, at first I was like, I don't get it. It's a little too much. But then they found their way, or maybe I just adjusted to the comedy. But after that, it was a wrap. I fell in love with the story, the characters. Even when Michael left, I was still in it, and they built up all the supporting characters, gave them nice background. And then if you watch the superfan episodes, they even show more like characters and traits from with the backup people, like the support characters. So it's a very funny show. Even
It is funny. Yeah.
even after watching it day in and day out for like a year straight, I still laugh every day. But even though it bothers me that we're watching the same thing, I don't know, it's just me. But it's still just hilarious.
There's certain shows that I feel like no matter how many times I watch them, I'm gonna still laugh at the same jokes. Like, I don't know why.
Like it's really hard to beat the Jim Pam, the Jim Dwight, Michael Scott with everybody, all the fun characters, Pam Beasley, Andy, Dwight, Karen Filippelli. I just love all of them.
If you
They're
love
just so-
The
they're just-
Office and all the characters that much, go check out 2 weeks ago's episode which was a tier list of the Office characters. Go check it out.
Some
on
people
YouTube.
have actually been saying the greatest tier list of all time.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, well,
Not-
I mean, it's you and me, Disco, but
not
yeah,
just us, but I was just gonna say
we're the people.
those-
We're the people saying it, but it's not wrong.
I think there was a
It really
comment
isn't.
where someone was just like, "This character should be a little higher." That's the only person that
Get them on the podcast next time, Eslam.
They're wrong.
Get them on
You
the
know
podcast.
what?
We're gonna have a
Let's
discussion. We're gonna have a
let's
discussion.
debate. We'll
I will
debate them.
explain the history of I Love Lucy to them. If that's
Jack was on for that. Yeah, I
Yeah, you
remember.
Yeah, so mine is The Office. It's clearly legendary. It's impacted so many people, and it's been around for the better part of 20 years.
Yeah, and not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, and it's not going away. They even made an Australian reboot, which I heard did really bad, but it just goes to say, like, even 20 years later, they're still trying
Disco.
to...
That's just one of many countries to do a reboot.
Yeah.
Like this is like the 8th or 9th country to do a
Saudi
reboot.
wow.
did one, or the
UAE.
UAE.
India did one. I
I
remember
did
watching
not
Indian
know
one.
that. That is so funny.
There's a
I
bunch
gotta
of
check those out.
But they're doing another sitcom where it's in America, but it's not. It's within the same universe as the
Just a
Dunder
different office or something.
A completely different company, selling a different product and everything. From my
That
understanding.
makes sense. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't even think it's in Scranton. So yeah,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's going to be just the office somewhere else in
exactly
in Denver.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, this show is legendary. It's absolutely amazing. The characters are just so fun, so rich. The humor is just elevated. You. It's hard to not find something to love about the show, or at least one character that you can like relate to. And
absolutely. So what are you putting on that?
For my symbol, I'm gonna make. It's hard to choose a symbol. I was thinking either a Dundee but me, I think I want to do the quad desk with the Dundee on top.
Okay.
Okay. Nice.
I like that. I really thought you were gonna go with Kevin's chili spilling.
Oh man, put the chili pot on it. No, have Kevin like behind the desk or
just
something.
have chili dripping down from the Dundee.
Yeah, Kevin's gonna be falling in front of the quad desk with it like this chili.
I feel like your Mount Rushmore is gonna be so expensive.
That's a lot, bro. You're doing a lot
That's
right
the
now.
first one.
Hey, if the Egyptians can make pyramids, I can make a Kevin, chiseled.
I can make a shrine to the office.
All right, Dan, what's your next?
All right. Yep. So one thing I want to do is I wanted to get I Love Lucy out the way because I feel like that deserves to be there, of course. Now from here on out, this is where I deviate, and I'm not going to just do my favorite sitcoms. I've been saying this entire time. I just can't do it. I like too many sitcoms. So
right,
I'm just
before you continue.
Yeah.
Jack and Henry, start thinking of your second one.
Absolutely.
You guys are gonna go right after Dan finishes. So don't put them in now, but wait until Dan finishes. Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
You're fine. So yeah, so I'm trying to think of another one. So one that definitely comes to mind. I talked about I Love Lucy is like one of the things that started a lot of things. I want to talk about the show that I might be wrong about this, but the one that probably started off the sitcom spinoff. And the original one, well, it all starts with All in the Family. So I'm going to put that there. Now, All in the Family came out in the 70s, and it was one of the first time ever there was really a sitcom that actually was just like, hey, we're going to talk about the difficult things in America that nobody wants to talk about. So there was a lot of talk about politics, racism, which at that point in time was just a big thing. So yeah, All in the Family's in there. Archie Bunker is a classic character, as is Edith. Yeah, I knew somebody was going to say it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Henry. But yeah, no, All in the Family is amazing. And because like I'm talking about spinoffs, All in the Family, we all know the Jeffersons, right? They were the neighbors of the Bunkers. You you have Good Times, Florida. She was Good Times spun off of that as well. So it's like there's a lot of things. Archie Bunker's Place, another one. After Edith passes away, he gets his own show. I mean, that's a show where in the 70s they were talking about trans people. Nobody was doing that in the 70s, let alone in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, not until probably more or less around now. So it's like they were doing that then. So it's like this show was there for talking about a lot of things.
50 years ahead of time.
Exactly. And it's like when you talk about a show that's ahead of its time, that is the show.
Nice.
All in the Family. So I'm putting that in there. For the symbol, yes, Meathead. Thank you. That's what he called his son-in-law. Yeah, so I guess with that one, I'm going to keep it iconic. For the Mount Rushmore symbol, I want Archie's chair, his armchair. Just put it right there.
Good shit.
I was going with that.
Nice. All right, Jack, and well, Jack has his second. Henry, you can still pick the same one as Dan. We can do
Yeah,
doubles. You can
we can do
just
it.
you can let us know um what would you do different for the Mount Rushmore instead of Dan.
Oh, we
Oh,
changed it.
okay. Married with Children.
Oh,
Nice.
that one
Okay.
was good too, actually.
Yeah, that
Dang.
one was
Classic.
amazing.
I grew
Classic.
up on that one. Man, nostalgia.
Seinfeld too.
Oh,
Two
Seinfeld.
good ones. Two good ones.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a big Seinfeld guy.
Nice. Those are two really good picks. Actually, Married with Children was on. I was thinking about it. It was going to be on my list, but
I never really watched Seinfeld, but there's one episode that is just like burned into my brain. It's this one episode where Jerry has this like tuna can. He's just like, look at this can of tuna, and it's like a huge can of tuna. But the way he says it,
his voice is just so awkward.
It's like burnt into my brain. I don't even know what the episode's about, to be honest.
One of the best episodes I'm gonna say real quick about Seinfeld is this one guy. So George Costanza, Jack, if I'm wrong, help me out here. He has his job. He has this new boss. I think it's when he worked for the Yankees. But his boss was a guy who kind of looked like, oh man, what's that? It's a boxer. I can't remember the boxer's name right now.
Butterbean?
No, it was a black guy.
that's a lot of them, bro.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think from like the
Lennox
this would have been the
Lewis,
70s.
Tyson.
No,
Oh.
70s. Sugar Ray Leonard, I think.
Mm.
I could be wrong about that. But anyway, he gets his new boss. He's like, oh, that guy kind of looks like Sugar Ray Leonard. And then he tells somebody, it was like, oh, you're just saying that because he's black. And he's like, no, he looks like. So the whole episode, it's him trying to prove he's not racist.
Mm.
And that's like the entire show. And then at the very end, he's finally come to terms. Like the guy's like, okay, we're cool, whatever. They're eating dinner. And then like his boss leaves or whatever. And then the waiter comes back. He's like, listen, you guys can come back anytime. The waiter's black, by the way. And he's just like, anytime you're coming in here with Sugar Ray Leonard, it's okay. He's like, no, look, I was right. He does look like Sugar Ray Leonard. And like, that's how the episode ends. That's like one of the funnier ones I could think off the top of my mind. At least
That's
I think
funny.
it was Sugar Ray, but yeah.
All right. I'm gonna jump into my second one. Again, one of my all-time favorites. I love this show. I would watch it anytime it would be on if I found it. Saved by the Bell. I really love that show a lot. It was fantastic. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it.
That's it.
I'm gonna be real. I'm the only person in the world that doesn't like that show.
Yeah, I love
No,
it.
know what it is.
it's both of us. I just didn't want to say anything.
What do you mean? Which version, Jack? Is there more than one version of Saved
There's
by the
a updated. Oh no, I don't know actually.
Bell?
I know that there was
It's-
like
it's
a college years one, and then there was
like the original Saved by the Bell when they're in high school.
the 90s.
Yeah. That's
With Dustin Diamond.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I loved it. It was fantastic, and that's that. I'm
No
on
favorite
to
episode.
Cisco.
You want to
No.
put? What are you putting
He's
on
just-
your Mount Rushmore?
Oh,
just-
right.
You
I keep
have to
forgetting
put
about
things
that.
there. You can't
just
leave it
listing.
alone. You're disappointing the people.
I don't know why I keep
This man
forgetting.
said,
about
"Fuck
that
this
part.
podcast. I'll try to get off today."
He forgot how to do.
He's over here. I'm just gonna say it real quick. Hey, Jack Henry, put your shit in there quick. I need to get out on time.
Damn, that's a tough one. What would I put on there?
The bell.
I mean, that's like the most obvious thing.
Lockers.
I'm just gonna put a statue of Kelly Kapowski.
Oh.
Just gonna put a statue of her because she's hot. She's hot as fuck.
So, because I'm not the biggest fan of the show, I do not understand what Jack means by any of this.
I know what he's talking about before the college years and the country club when they all
Okay.
worked at a country club.
Okay.
Yeah. I know exactly what he's talking about. I love that show.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll put a statue of Kelly Kapowski.
All right.
Yeah.
My turn.
Yep. Sirens are on our end, by the way. I don't know. They're coming for somebody.
Oh, that's me. There's a fire
Right.
somewhere. It's California.
Trust me, I've learned that listening to podcasts, if anytime I hear that, I'm thinking, if I'm driving especially, I'm like, oh, let me pull over. No, that's coming from the podcast.
Start looking around like,
so
oh
just-
shoot.
yeah, that's why I just want to let the people
That's
know.
us. Warning.
All right, Disco, what's your third?
My
Third or second?
second
Probably
is
second.
Dan
Big
wants to get the
Bang
fuck out.
Theory.
There you go. That's what I was waiting to hear. I was wondering who was going to say it.
Came out
Which one?
2007, 12 seasons. Big Bang Theory.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Another one my wife kind of just always
I
put
never
on for
finished that one.
gosh knows how long. I've seen
I
all
fell
12
off.
seasons multiple times.
Yeah.
And this is just another one like The Office. It's the guys are just so funny. I know a lot of people actually kind of like feminists hate it because they're very sexist. Apparently, I never picked up on it until somebody pointed it out to me. But overall, I still think the show is hilarious. I just like that geeky nerdiness to the
Yeah.
shows, and all the episodes I found out are actually named after scientific theories, which I thought that
Mm.
was like really cool little fun fact about the show. And Penny's gorgeous, and Sheldon is such a unique character. They have a young Sheldon spinoff, and they actually just let out Georgie and Mandy, which is a spinoff of that spinoff.
Yeah.
So this shows definitely getting their money's worth. But yeah, man, I love Howard, Leonard, even Amy, all the characters. They create just a fun sitcom dynamic. Now that you pointed out these are sitcoms, I like see the sitcominess of like
Yeah.
kind of like the cheesy. Every character kind of has their own like accentuated, characteristics. Over the top, some of them. Kuthar Polly, yeah. So for my symbol, I think I'm going to put the time machine that they all bought, and supposedly we're gonna like share and trade. But also, I want to have the Sheldon has like the molecule statue in the back that eventually one episode gets broken. But I want the molecule statue behind the time machine, just actually still together though. I always like that thing.
Interesting.
See some molecules.
I respect it. It's a show I try getting into. It has its funny moments. I don't know. It's just I've always been a family sitcom guy.
I watched a decent amount, but at some point I was like, it was too the same. It was just like it was really, I don't know.
I see. No, Henry's what he put in his statues.
Yeah.
I love that. Henry, I want a suggestion for the with the afro. Can it just say what you're talking about, Willis? Just right underneath it. But yeah, so okay, so I'm gonna go with another one here, and I was kind of like on the fence with a few different ones. Thank you, but I was on the fence for a couple different ones, and I kind of thought I'm kind of going a little historical. Let me keep that going.
Mhm.
So I want to talk animated sitcoms. Somebody did bring it up, and then I feel like instinctively most people, nowadays you would think of something like The Simpsons or Family Guy and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the Flintstones. Where
Nice.
so we're it's I could be wrong. I don't know if it is the first animated sitcom. I believe it is. If anything, it's probably the most successful like early one. Sirens on our end. They're just excited about the Flintstones. But one of the best shows. It does have like the you do have the people listening in and laughing, like a live studio audience for an animated sitcom. You know what I'm saying? Like how often do
Yeah.
you see something like that? They have of course, the Jetsons was the opposite
Mhm.
of that. That was very successful. But the Simpsons, the Simpsons, the Flintstones, especially when you look at characters like Homer Simpson, Peter from Family Guy, Peter Griffin, that father that slightly overweight dad who's maybe not the greatest dad, but he's kind of just there. It's Fred Flintstone. It's all based off of him. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with the Flintstones. For that, oh, and also did get a live action movie starring some great actors. Halle Berry's in it too. But yeah, so for that one, I guess for the symbol, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have Dino the dinosaur
Mm.
with Pebbles and Bam Bam sitting on his head.
Gotta have Bam Bam.
Yeah, I'm gonna put both of
Call me
them on
Bam Bam.
there. And respect to the Rebels too.
Yeah, definitely. They had Superman for a baby.
Pretty much. The edgiest show of all time. My third pick is South Park. Thank
Nice.
you, Jack. Yeah. I was kind of thinking South Park, and I had a feeling somebody was going to say it. I'm glad you did. of course, South
That's a
Park.
good park.
Yeah,
That's a good park.
it is
That's a
one hell of
good,
a park.
that's a good show.
That I remember the first time I saw South Park, and I just knew it was like, hey, there's this crazy show. I shouldn't watch it. I'm really young. It is what it
Oh,
is.
nice.
And then, oh yeah, and then I didn't know that South Park episodes, their whole thing is they just escalate to the highest degree possible.
Yeah.
So I forgot what I watched, but it blew my mind. I was like, I need to watch this always. So yeah, just the fact that they go insane in any direction. Still, one of my favorite episodes is the Easter one, where they find out it's a whole conspiracy by the Pope, who's actually a rabbit, because the rabbit was at the First Supper of Jesus, and that's where Peter came from. It's a whole thing. You guys need to see it if you haven't. But yeah,
Henry
Keenan and Kel.
said Keenan and Kale.
Keenan and Kel.
Yes, that's an
Absolutely.
amazing one.
Very nice. Very
Absolutely.
nice.
That's it. And
yeah.
Jack, they're fast with their episodes because their animated style is such not low quality, but like it doesn't take a lot of panels to create them, so they can pump out the episodes.
And they're current too. That's the
Yeah.
cool thing. It's like they're talking about what's currently happening in the world.
And for them to be able to do that and release episodes quickly, they needed to have their animation style like very simple.
Yeah, and
You
it
know,
works.
so they're like the way they move, it's like, there's not like that smooth, like fluid motion, which takes a lot more panels than what they need
Yeah.
to do. So that's actually a genius move on their end.
Did you guys ever see the movie they made, Trey Parker and Matt Stone?
Which movie?
Basketball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's them in
I
the
love
movie.
Basketball. Oh,
like
shit,
the two
really?
big guys.
Is it?
They're the creators of South Park. Yeah.
Wow.
I like that scene where the guy sticks his hand out in the sun. He's like afraid of the sun or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that the right movie?
I don't think so. No.
No,
You're talking about the bench warmers, but yeah.
Oh yeah, basketball.
it's just it was always crazy to me that he was just spraying titty milk.
I'm glad you knew the movie I was talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. We're connected. We share a name. I got you.
The one where the Dominican guy shows his ID and it's like cars,
Yep.
it's crayons.
Yep.
It's the wrong movie still.
I'm
but
only
that movie's too
12 or something. And it's like it's a crayon. It
Full-grown
says
Dominican.
I am 12 in a green crayon. Like I love how we're talking. South Park got us to talking about bench warmers.
My bad. That was my tangent.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Oh man.
Okay.
You got us, Eslam.
My third one
Mm.
is Friends.
Mm.
I love this show. Friends was a very big like bonding show for me and my sister. We used to watch it together when the new seasons were coming out. We used to always watch them, and yeah, so that show is fantastic. I love it. She still watches it like every month at this point. Like she's ridiculous, but it's a very good show. I love it. There's a lot of funny stuff in it for me. And I would put their
Oh shit, you remember it.
yeah, I would put the monkey Marcel.
I didn't even know there was a monkey
Marcel.
on that show.
Yeah,
I don't watch Friends. Yeah.
yeah, there's a monkey. It would either be that or their couch in the coffee shop. Okay, you know what? Marcel on the couch. There you go. If Disco can have like 62 things,
Yeah.
I'll put
You
the
could have
couch and Marcel can just sit on it. That's it.
Marcel's the monkey.
Yeah, Marcel's the
Okay.
monkey. Yeah, but yeah, that was my third, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. My neighbor's daughter was actually Doug Reamer for Halloween, and no one but me knew. That's funny. I don't
That's
know
the
who Doug
greatest.
Reamer is.
That's the greatest feeling. I still think back to when we were at Comic-Con, Eslam, and I was very excited. I saw Gumby, and I
Yeah.
do also remember Gumby being excited.
Excited, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Damn.
anyway.
I do remember
Damn,
that. I was
nobody
there.
recognized Gumby. That is so.
I'm sure they
sad.
did, but it's just I
Not like
just
you.
when I tell you I was excited,
Yeah.
like this was like year 3, so I kind of got tired of seeing Batman and Deadpool in the same Spider-Man. Like you see the same like 8
Joker.
costumes over and over. It's like,
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh fuck, there's a Gumby. Let's
Yeah.
go. That might have been the same year we saw like Quail Man. I was like, fuck yeah, Quail Man. That's what I'm
Yeah.
looking
Oh
for.
yeah, I remember Quailman. Damn, that was
Those
a
are the
good
ones
one.
that I like, you know.
He shook
Like,
Gumby's hand like, thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you for your
made my
service.
Comic-Con. Thank you for your service.
Yes.
That's crazy.
You win Comic-Con this year. Congratulations.
Oh man. But
All right,
yeah,
Dan, your last one. What's it
last
gonna
one,
be?
last one. So I did I Love Lucy, I did All in the Family, did the Flintstones. All right. You mentioned Boy Meets
Uh,
World earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Boy Meets World. The story about a boy growing up. You're seeing him just, you see life through his eyes, where
Yep.
he's a young boy and he goes into young manhood, young adulthood. He finally gets married to Topanga and they ride off into the sunset and do everything. A young Ben Savage starts in that show, and he's very, very successful show. Most people our age tend to love it. Now, Ben Savage has an older brother called Fred Savage.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Savage was in another show that came out earlier in the 90s, arguably late 80s, where it's a show about a young boy who's growing up and you see him live life in his thing. Basically, his younger brother stole his idea. Well, not he didn't steal it, but they were just like, hey, let's do a modern day version of what you did. The original one being The Wonder Years.
Mm.
The Wonder Years is one of the greatest shows I have ever seen in my life. Not sitcoms. One of the greatest shows I have ever seen in my entire life. It's phenomenal. It takes place in the 60s. So think about how much happened in American history in the 60s. And it's just a young boy in the suburbs. Just he's it all starts off on the first day of junior high. And the show is just like he's terrified because he doesn't want to wear the wrong thing and he wants to look cool and he's going with his two friends. One of his friends, Winnie Cooper, just like how we all, you know, all thought like we all had a crush on Topanga. The
Mm-hmm.
generation before us, all of them had a crush on Winnie Cooper. That was
Mm-hmm.
literally it's one for one these two shows,
Yeah, yeah.
and I love that it's the two brothers starring in them. But yeah, so you have Winnie Cooper, who's his best friend, who he grew up with, and now all of a sudden he's like, oh, she's actually a really pretty girl, and then it's all about is he going to end up with Winnie, and do they date, do they break up? And while this is happening, it's the 60s. Vietnam is going on. Winnie's brother dies in the first episode in Vietnam.
Damn.
And this is a show about a kid growing up, and he's growing up in this world. So it's like he gets a wake up call real quick. His mom decides she wants to go back to college. A woman in the 60s going to school? What the fuck? You can't do
Yeah.
that. So it's like it's a really, really cool show. Anybody who hasn't seen it, please do. They did like a reboot of it a year ago where they did the same thing, but it was a young black family in that same time period. And they're kind of going through the history. So yeah, I trust me. That was a famous rumor, Jack, about Marilyn Manson being Paul Pfeiffer. It's debunked. It's not him. Paul Pfeiffer, I think, ended up becoming like an accountant or a lawyer or something when he got older. He quit acting. But yeah, I used to think that was true, that he grew up to become Marilyn Manson because he looks like a young Marilyn Manson. But yeah,
I don't
no.
know what he said, what Jack said in the previous comment. Like, I
I
don't
don't
know if I
know.
would call this a sitcom. What? Which one?
Maybe the Wonder Years. I don't
Oh.
know. Yeah, it's one of those. It doesn't have that style of camera.
Mm.
But at the same time, it is like, for example, Young Sheldon. It's that style of camera, where
I've
it's
never
not a
watched it.
traditional.
Yeah.
I neither have I, but I've seen enough promo work to know how it works. So it's not like your traditional 3 camera setup and stuff like that. It's kind of like following. Think of it more like Scrubs, which is also a sitcom, but it's not in that camera vein. So kind of like that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, all Wonder Years. I've seen it all the way through. I couldn't tell you how many times. But so for the Wonder Years, this is a tough one. What am I going to put up there? Tell you what. I want to take the car. Kevin Arnold, that's the main character's name. The car that was given to him by his grandfather when his grandfather was too old and they deemed it wasn't safe for him to drive, but he was too stubborn and he was like, the only way I'll do it is if I give it to my son. My grandson. I'll sell it to him. I think he sells it to him for $1. And eventually Kevin Arnold, his first job ever, he's a Chinese food delivery person and he has to draw like a dragon on the side of his car. It's like this old beat up like a station wagon type thing that nobody likes and it looks ugly. Now there's a dragon on it and it says like Chinese food or something like that. So yeah, I want that car to be up there.
Nice.
Yep. You're good,
All
Jack.
right.
No worries.
Jack and Henry, what are your last picks?
Wait. I still haven't given my third one. Somehow we skipped my third one.
Oh
So I'm going to
shit,
give
my
my
bad.
third so we can catch up to the last.
Yeah, you're good.
I
So
thought you gave your third one.
my third one is going to be Modern Family.
Great show.
Came
Okay.
out 2009. 11 seasons.
I love how you're pulling
And
up the Wikipedia for this.
you set the bar. I need to give some facts about my shows.
When you
Other
were
than,
gone for a minute, after he did his whole "I Love Lucy" um, documentary, I was just like, "Listen, there's no way in hell Disco and I are going to be giving this much information out." So I was just like telling the people, like, don't expect it. Like Dan's gonna do this, but
gotcha.
like Disco and I aren't. So I mean, if you do your whole Wikipedia thing, by all means,
I mean,
I'm just
I'm
saying,
not
like,
giving historical
you saw
knowledge, but at
me,
least you
I
know
was
when it
just
came
like,
out.
Eslam's
That's
legit
it.
come out here. I like this show.
yeah.
That's it. And then he forgets the
I was
symbol.
like, that's it.
He's like, I put shit up there.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that's a great one.
Brooklyn Nine. I've been meaning to watch. I've seen some episodes here and there.
Yeah, it's a really fun one.
So Modern Family is just hilarious. I love the dynamic between Claire and Phil. Phil is
I've
just
never
so
watched that.
stupid.
Really funny.
You should watch it.
Really
It's
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah, I will.
I love the growth of the kids of Haley and Luke and the other one. I forgot the other one, the nerd one. they become so funny, and even the brother, Cam, and I forgot the other one, but
Oh yeah. I'm blanking
they
on
are
all their names.
so hilarious. Every time I need a Mitch, there you go. That makes
Thank
sense.
you, Mitch. Yes, and Alex
Every
is the girl.
Yep. And it's funny because I looked it up and Eric Stone Street, the guy who plays Cam, is not even gay, but he
No,
plays
the other one is. Yeah.
such like a insanely flamboyant dude. It really blows my mind, like the skills of his acting chops, and I did background research too because I watched it so long with my wife, and he actually almost wasn't even going to get that role. So like it's crazy to think that he wouldn't, because I feel like he kind of is a big part of that show. I just love how flamboyant and narcissistic and terrible he really is. And in a real life relationship, he's like bad. But for the dynamics of the sitcom, it's just too funny. They have a bunch of kids that grow up too. Lily and Joe. It's a lot of characters. They have Adam Devine from.
Yep.
I'm blanking on the other show. Every time I have to think of a name, it just goes. I'm getting old. Don't grow past 30. But I guess there's so many episodes, 12 seasons. I'm gonna say the symbol is gonna be the episode when Phil tries to teach Luke. No.
I mean,
he said the episode.
The symbol comes from this episode. My bad. Let me say all the words. Luke, Phil's trying to teach Luke the family trampoline jumping secret, the Dumpy Tuck, and so, and Luke picks it up super fast and starts doing extra rotations, and he gets starting to feel like emasculated, and not like the alpha. Luke's taking over, and so the whole episode he's just kind of fucking dragging his feet. It's hilarious. So I'm torn between that one and when the drones are tracking Gloria and they all fight to try to fight the drone away. There's just too many episodes, man. I love the holiday episodes. I like when they have Joe in there. He's such a
Halloween one stayed out to me.
Joe grew up to be such a bad little kid. Not bad in a bad way, but like he's just so for a little baby in the show, he's just got so much charisma, man. It's crazy. Yeah, so that's going to be the symbol.
You literally just described an episode. What's the symbol?
No, he didn't. He named like 8 different things.
Yeah, I know. You know what I was thinking? Have you guys ever seen like that old mirror thing that spins and you see the guy riding the bike?
Yeah.
It should just be that of the episode on Mount Rushmore.
I say we get a big TV. Disco puts his Hulu username and password.
Let's watch the episode. Everybody can learn about the Dumpy Tuck.
Yeah.
So it's just a trampoline with Luke flying in the air doing the Dumpy Tuck.
Okay.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. That's the symbol.
Dan, did you do all 4 or just 3?
I did 4.
Oh, so am I doing my 4th now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so Disco did his 3rd, which means he has to do a 4th, and you still doing your 4th.
Everybody else is on their 4th now. Well, everybody's on their 4th now.
How did Disco?
We did skip him. Remember, he had to step away.
Oh,
I think that is it.
Okay. So I'll tell my
And
horse, then he can
and then
tell.
Exactly.
I was gonna
Yeah.
pop in, but then Dan went for his last one. I was like, I don't want to interrupt.
My bad. All right, so my last one, um, is gonna be the Fresh Prince of Bel Air,
Mm.
the OG. Um, Amazing fucking show. I love it. I watch it all the time, and I always laugh. So it's just like I don't know, man. That's always been a fucking great show to me. I love all the jokes in that show.
Yeah. Well, especially like you took somebody who wasn't an actor
Yeah,
and he proved like, damn, Will Smith can fucking act.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's like it was just this. He was an okay rapper.
yeah,
He's lucky. I'm giving him okay.
yeah.
Um, but no,
He's in the
like you
same
know,
class as Nick Cannon.
damn, nah, get jiggy with it. I'm coming to Miami. Nah, Nick Cannon ain't on that level.
Just the two of us. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He got some bangers. So
Yeah,
he just
parents
was
just don't
like,
understand. Nah. I'm
Yeah.
not his biggest fan, but no, he ain't no
name
Nick
one
Cannon.
Nick Cannon song.
We just named like 8 Will Smith ones.
Exactly. So you can't
Okay.
compare him
All
to
right.
Nick
All
Cannon.
right. All right. My bad. My bad.
He's a step up from Nick Cannon. Let's
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
let's
definitely,
leave it at that.
definitely.
So Nick Cannon would be like
One
my-
step.
F tier, and then he would be
Everybody
like
just
E.
name all his songs in chat. All 20 of his songs.
His whole discography.
Oh man, Wild Wild West. No, well, yeah, well, Cisco was on that one too, but yeah.
That wasn't a good one. Okay. All right. But yeah, so my symbol would be this is a hard one. I don't know if there was
I
like
feel like
really
it's hard for a symbol in that
a
shit.
symbol
I
of the
legit would have put
show.
the house.
I was thinking
Right?
about the house, but I think I'm
The
gonna put
stairwell.
I mean,
I think my
I get it.
symbol is gonna be Jazz being thrown out. Just him
That
flying in
I
that
like that one.
position.
That was always one of my favorites.
Yeah, I think
Is
that's
this
gonna be
animated? Is this you press a button and
no,
something
no. He's
goes?
just
Okay,
like
no, he's just
constantly.
floating.
It's
Yeah.
just he's floating a little bit.
I-
He's falling in that position.
Did Jazz get thrown out in the reboot?
I don't know. I still haven't seen this last season. I don't
I
know.
haven't either.
I haven't seen it.
I
You
kind of
mean
fell off.
the actor?
No, the character of Jazz. I mean, has he been
Did they,
like
like-
kicked out the house? You mean?
Did they like replicate
No,
that
no,
kind
no.
of Jazz thing where
It's
Uncle Phil
like a
always tells
drama.
us-
No. He didn't.
But they can still do it seriously. Like, you get the out my house, Jazz, and then they play dramatic music, and he's like, I never want to be here, and then there's somebody cries, and that's a whole
No,
episode.
they didn't do that.
dramatize it.
The
Yeah,
fuzzy
just
dice
literally
on
they
the
just
mirror.
dramatize it.
Phil shoves the crap.
He shoves
out
them
of
out the door.
Fuzzy
You
dice on
stay
the
out.
mirror is a good one too.
This
Yeah.
Uncle Phil's actually jacked, so I really feel like he can actually throw.
He would get
Jazz.
Jeffrey on him. You ain't fucking with this
Oh,
James Bond
Jeffrey's-
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey's Batman in that show, bro. I
Yeah,
love
this
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey in the
For
spinoff is
real.
insane. Not spinoff. The reboot is insane.
He's MI13 over here.
All right, Disco. What's your last one?
My last one is going to be Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This one is actually a sitcom for me. I did watch those other with my wife, but those were the ones that were on repeat. This is kind of just one that I saw my own time and enjoyed. Came out in 2005, 16 seasons. It's a bunch of seasons that left. It came back. It's just all types of goodness. Oh my God, this show is crazy. It's off the walls. Just Charlie Kelly is so insane. Mac, Dennis, the way they all get on D is just so funny. And then when Frank came in with this, like, what is it? This rum ham? Oh no, did my mic just turn off?
No, we hear
No,
you.
we can hear you.
One of my mics turned off.
Oh,
Okay. Well, you can still hear me. Well, yeah. So I don't know, it just threw me off because I heard the.
Just make it short, bro. Just
Gotcha,
make it- yeah. Before your mic
Always
goes
Sunny,
up.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia is just too funny. If you haven't checked it out, it's
That's another one I haven't watched.
rough
Oh,
around
man,
the
it's
edge
so
bunch
good.
from Philly. They drink, they cuss, they run a bar, then get into all types of situations.
I remember when Mac got fat.
Mac got fat. Mac turned gay. Man, all types of stuff happened in that
Yeah.
show. I like the episode where they're flying on the plane and they trying to.
Yes.
I forgot what the guy's name, but they're trying to drink and like beat some world record. How many beers you can have on a plane?
Remember the play with the Nightman and Dayman, the fighter of the Nightman.
Nightman, Dayman, fighter of the Nightman, master of karate. Man, I don't remember the lyrics, but
It's so good. That's still. Remember, he was the troll. Danny DeVito was the troll.
Friendship and everyone. Yeah.
He said that? Oh, he's like, you have to pay the troll's toll. To get the boy's soul. And it sounds like he's saying boy's hole, but he's saying boy's soul.
Yeah. I like the episode with the Green Man too. Oh man, that's one of my favorites. And the dentist plan, man, there's just so much that like, and I don't know if you remember the priest.
The one who became a meth head? Yeah.
It's just too funny. There's just so many people, so many episodes. But like I said, I love Charlie Day. He as the Green Man. So my symbol is just gonna be him in the bar with the Green Man dancing all weird like he does. Like, Green Man's totally saving my life right now, man.
Yo, why is this shit so elaborate this episode? Like,
because I'm passionate about this. Unlike you, man. You're just like,
cool with it.
List. and you know, that's you were right. Everybody got different sitcoms. So these are ones that, you know, mean something to me. So I'm trying to paint the picture how I want it. So that's these are my shows.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Eslam, do you mind giving me the big thing for one quick second?
Oh shit.
Yeah. So no, I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be anything too bad. I'm just disappointed in both of you. That I was trying to be classic, and I was trying to put, you know, I'm not mentioning everything, but nobody said How I Met Your Mother, and nobody said Scrubs, and I was just like, I'm not going to mention anything that's in the modern day world.
Well, listen, I love. Mine were all old. Like they weren't like. I mean, not old as yours.
Yours were like 90s old. Like
like I stuck with my 90s era because those are the ones that like I've only watched How.
Yeah, mine's 90s.
I've only watched How I Met Your Mother once, but all the other ones I've watched multiple times.
My wife loves How I Met Your Mother, and that was going to be my fourth show, but then I was like, you know what? Let me get one for me. So
let me get one for me.
That's why that wasn't in there.
His wife stepped away for a quick second.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh yeah, but yeah, no, there's so many other sitcoms that we all enjoy. That it's hard to get everything.
These are the 4 for this time. Maybe we'll do a part.
That's what I'm saying. Ask me again in 20 minutes. I'm gonna give you different ones. The only one that might still be on there is I Love Lucy, maybe.
Yeah.
So.
I would. I chose like the top 4, but yeah, I have other ones that kind of just I watch. But yeah, all right.
Was that your final thought?
Yeah. No. Is that the final thought?
Final thought.
I thought that was your final thought, but
yeah. No. Sorry. Go do your final thought.
No. We were just still talking about sitcoms. I was just talking about.
I literally said final thoughts.
I didn't hear you. I have one ear in.
Okay. Final thoughts.
My final thoughts are. My brother got me back into Yu-Gi-Oh! I downloaded Master Duel on Switch, and you could pretty much just make your deck all crazy. So my love for Yu-Gi-Oh! Got reinvigorated.
I did download Master Duel on Switch. Never opened it.
I did the same thing because it was free. So I was like, let me get it while it's free still. Or, I don't know if they put it on, change it or whatever. And I've had it for like about 2 years, ever since I got my Switch. And then Eric's just been begging me to play this, play Yu-Gi-Oh, yo. Every time I go over, he's just like, check out my deck, hey, look at all these decks, hey, this could be you. And I was playing Hogwarts Legacy. I had like other games I wanted to finish because I know how I get with certain types of games. So after Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm obsessed with that, man. I'm making a Teller Knights deck. It's insane. The meta's changed.
I don't even know anymore. I just don't.
Remember when we were playing? It's like everything.
There was Black Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Everything
you came back when I came around, and it changed. We were in the Exceeds era.
Yeah, you came
I
at the
don't.
brink of the Exceeds era.
Oh, I
You're
was there
still
when I was there through the Exceeds. I was there for synchros. I was Exceeds, and then they introduced pendulums, and we all unanimously stood up and said no.
they told me how to use pendulums in the game, and I'm still like, I don't know what the hell's happening.
That's what I'm saying. So I play a Yu-Gi-Oh game as well. It's gonna involve my final thoughts. But yeah, but no, it's pendulums. I learned it. It's ridiculous. It's unnecessary. It should be illegal. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel about pendulums.
One thing I want to say is that everything we did an entire duel, like when we were playing back then, happens in one turn now, like in the new meta. Everything is so fast. You get 1 million monsters, exceed 1 million times, synchro. It's insane. The game is absolutely insane now. That's my final thought. Yu-Gi-Oh! Head here.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna get my final thought in real quick. First off, yes, Henry, happy N7 day to you as well. Unfortunately, they announced that they're not going to be doing anything in terms of Mass Effect for N7 day, so this is all we got. But it's okay. That's the next game they're working on at BioWare, and I cannot wait. Also, Jack put in American Dad, King of the Hill, Family Matters, and Futurama for the animations. Family Matters has an animation one. I'm not sure. I have to. They might, and I'm just not aware of. But no, overall, that's not a bad 4 right there.
No,
That's
I think
actually
he's just
pretty
saying
awesome.
he likes
Oh,
animation because 3.
okay, I got you. I got you. Thank you. That makes perfect sense. All right. So what's called final thoughts? Because you got me thinking of it. 2 things real fast. One, since you guys have downloaded and one of you has played that Yu-Gi-Oh thing, I do want to let you know that a new free mobile game came out, the Pokemon Trading Card Pocket game.
Oh, TCG.
You could download it for free. This game fucking hits. It is good, guys. It is good.
I heard good things.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I've gotten pretty far in the game. Huh?
Send the name in the chat.
I got you.
It's like
But no,
Pokemon TCG or something.
yeah, that's pretty Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Okay.
I'll send it in there.
Yeah,
but it's good. Basically, you're collecting Pokemon cards.
You both acting like you don't know my memory.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna send it in the thing.
Yeah. This is like it's just Pokemon TGC Pocket. Like
Nah, I said it, and then in my head I was thinking, you know what? You're right. Just send it to me safe because we are old.
So, yeah. I'll make your account to tell you what your username and passwords are.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
But
a secretary.
But no, it's a great game. You go in there, you get your cards, and then you actually battle. You can battle against other people. They haven't implemented it yet because the game just came out literally 4 days ago. But they are going to involve trading as well. And man, I got some pretty good cards. Got quite a few Mewtwo EXs, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
But yeah, no, pretty great game. Another thing, real fast. I want to mention any opportunity I can to make fun of Rudy, I'm going to. So the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game. So there is one that has been out in the gaming sphere for a while in terms of video games.
The YGO or something?
It's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh.
I thought he was singing the McDonald's song.
No,
I just
there's like another Yu-Gi-Oh platform that's popular. It's called YGO, and it's pretty much just free. It's just the same shit. It's just another platform.
The one that you have now that you guys got that was free. Master Duels, right?
Yeah.
So there was one that came out before that. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's basically the same thing. It's just this was kind of I feel like this was built off the one you play is built off the one I'm talking about, where it's not as open. It's like you kind of follow through the story of Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds, Yu-Gi-Oh GX. You go through the whole story with the different characters. They give you their decks and you learn how to play. And you could also build your own deck in there. So I built you guys remember, oh, never mind. The Gates of the Dark World deck. I rebuilt that one in the game. So I remember I played it. I beat the game.
I don't remember.
I know you don't. That's why I said you remember. I was like, oh, you don't remember. I'm just gonna fucking say it. But
you remember.
He's like,
yeah.
Who am I kidding?
I was like, what the fuck?
Got 2 of the worst memories in the world right here.
As a matter of fact, what's the name of the game I told you guys to check out?
Which one? The Pokemon one?
Yeah, what's it called?
TCG Pocket.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm asking you again later. But no, so I remember Rudy, he got the same Yu-Gi-Oh game that I had beaten years before. Mm-hmm. And I remember he told me that it's impossible to beat this one person. It might have been Seto Kaiba. I don't know who. Okay. But he's like, it just can't be done. It can't be done. Like, you sure I did it? He's like, it must have taken you forever. I was like, there might have been some that were hard, but I remember it was a fairly easy game. He's like, all right. I was like, I bet even if you use your own deck, you couldn't do it. I was like, all right, bet. So we did like share play where what's called I just booted up the game on my PS4 at the time.
Yeah.
He came in here, he was in there, so he's watching me play, and I'm just like, all right, this is the Dark World deck, this is how I use it, whatever. He's like, all right, go. So I was going second. The computer does its turn. I do my thing. He's like, hang on, I got to do something real quick. He comes back and I won. He's like, what happened? And I just left it right there. It just says you win. He's like, no, it was like, and then on the bottom it says like it was like 4 or 5 moves, and I won the game. He's like, what the fuck did you do? And I was like,
well, that's because he's never played it before. Like you gotta.
Well, he played OG. So he played it during the era that I guess you guys started in, like the very beginning, where it's like you just collect a bunch of cards and they don't mesh. They're just here. I'm just throwing out cards.
Whatever you have access to.
So that was his deck. Mine was an actual deck. You know, so it's like that's what I told him.
When Eric taught me how to do that shit, because the first time they're like, "You play Yu-Gi-Oh?" I'm like, "Yeah." I came in with like a fucking deck.
Man, I got like about 180 cards. No way I could lose.
Yeah, all the cards he owns.
They're like, "Are you sure you've played?" Because this is like deck is supposed to be only 40 cards. I'm like 40 cards.
I remember I got mine to 44. I was so pissed it was at 44, and I wanted to get down. I was like, this is too big. This is too big. I can't be at 44. Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
I used to get like OCD with the odd numbers. I'm like, I need to be 40 or 45. Like
yeah.
But yeah, those are my final thoughts.
All right. My final thoughts is I started watching Boruto.
Okay.
Eric be sucking that shit's dick like all day. Oh, yo,
he really does, bro. We had a conversation, but I've been in this time period where I've been watching a lot more anime again, and I went through like all the isekai animes that were good, and I watched them. And
I'm sorry, what animes?
The isekai. Yeah,
it's like when you're reborn.
It's
a genre of anime that where you're reborn into a new world.
It started out where like they
I didn't know that
reborn into like
Sword Art Online.
Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, I know.
Game, like
yeah, I never knew that genre had a term.
Yeah, it's a genre.
It's called isekai. So I watched all of them, and I'm like, I'm kind of bored. I need something new to watch. So I was like, fuck it. Boruto's long. I'll just start. I'll get through it. It's okay. I know Eric says it gets way better later when I'm not sure if his name is Mishima, but the mangaka, the original Naruto mangaka came back and started doing Boruto at certain points, and that's when Eric says it gets really good. But you know, the number one is still One Piece, so shout outs.
I feel like it's better when Eric tells the story, because when I be looking at it, I'm just like
it's like me with wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%.
Watching Boruto, I'm like, where's all the shit you was talking about? Like,
all right, Henry, I'm gonna write that down. Grand Blue Anime. Until I get on.
Hang on, don't forget this either, Eslam. The Washington Commanders are 7-2, and Jaden Daniels is the man.
What we do in the shadows is back.
Thank you for stopping by, Jack. Good luck to. I'm assuming you're a Washington Commanders fan, so shout out to them.
Well, yeah, they just beat the the Giants? No, or the Jets. Yeah, something like that. They beat them. Oh well, whatever. Thank you for listening to Los Wise Guys podcast. If you like what you hear, follow us on social media. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review. Go check out our YouTube channel. Thank you for listening, and have a great week.